Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of VSN Volleyball Weekly. We have hit the month of October, and that means district play, teams gearing up for the postseason. I'm Eric Richey, alongside Hall of Fame coach Jodee Pulizzano. Coach Jodee, what a week we just had. The CCA tournament, we had 16 matches in 2 days on court 3 in Houma. Some fantastic volleyball. You had a great one on Tuesday last week at Sam Houston. What a great week, and now we have another week to look forward to as well.
Yeah, the Lake Charles match, Sam Houston and St. Thomas More, was classic. It was a great match. I hope everyone gets to look at it. I would definitely take a look at that match. St. Thomas More comes back. It goes 5, but great play by both sides. And, of course, Sam Houston was so hospitable. I mean, it was a great day.
Yeah, it's been fun having Sam Houston as part of the VSN family. We're going to show some highlights in a little bit. Look forward to our schedule. We've got a couple of guests lined up, both Mendi LeBoeuf from Hahnville and also Colleen Loerzel, who's got a big matchup on Tuesday with her rival in the district, John Curtis. But before we get started any further, I've probably gone too long without the opening coin toss because somebody's got to serve. Somebody's got to serve, receive. Jodee, call this coin toss in the air, please.
Heads.
Ooh, it's tails. I get to go first, and you, my dear, will be serving. I will be serve receiving.
Okay, thank you. So, as we all know, volleyball is a unique sport because players must rebound the ball. All other major sports allow the players to either hold or pause the ball during the game action. Imagine a volleyball player going up to hit and say, whoa, wait, the block is too big, and then give it back to their own team to get 3 more hits. Volleyball players have no option but to better the ball. It is also the world's biggest court. Once the ball is put into play, the court extends beyond the court lines. It can be played on any surface. And remember, it is a sport that was invented for men not to be strenuous and as a low aerobic intensity sport. So I would like to break down the positions and compare it to football, you know, the American sport. So you guys as listeners understand.
Okay. I got you.
So I'm going to help out some of the newcomers. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say the position, the volleyball position, and Eric, you can tell me what you think the position in football would be, okay?
I like it. I like it.
We're going to start easy, okay, for you.
Okay.
Setter. The
setter in football, I don't think would be the quarterback.
Yes, it's the quarterback.
It would be the quarterback? Okay, I thought that would be the outside.
They initiate, and they're the leader. They're the one who, runs the plays. So the quarterback. Yeah. All right. So we're going to next. The outside hitter 1, okay? So there's a difference between OH1 and OH2. OH1 is the terminator, the person who puts the ball away.
I would say your top wide receiver, WR1.
That's exactly right. Bing, bing, bing. All right.
Yes.
So good job, Eric.
And you know why? Because those outsides, just like wide receivers in football, they want the pass to be perfect and they want the ball all the time. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Okay, so let's go. Okay, now this one could be a lot harder for you, okay? So we're going to go with OH2, which is the outside hitter that is more the ball control hitter. I mean, they can put the ball away, but they're not the terminator. It's a position. I'm going to give you a hint.
Tight end.
Okay?
No.
We would say
they
the
can
fullback.
Block sometimes. They can. The fullback. Okay.
The fullback.
Okay,
I mean, it's almost out of football now because, we don't use it too much, but we need it. It's somebody you can always rely on. That's always going to be there.
Except the Saints fullback.
Oh, come on. Let's not get into the Saints. That's a messy situation. All right.
Fumble.
So the middle blocker. Who is the middle blocker?
Middle blocker would be your nose guard on the other side.
Very good. The center. Very good. Oh, you are getting this, dude. You're getting this.
I like it. I like this. This is great.
You ready?
Yes.
The opposite, which is the person that's opposite the setter when you were on a 5-1. The opposite. You said it before.
Oh,
somebody who's reliable, tight end, exactly, because they're going to get some balls when you need it the most, and they're going to put up that big block.
They're going to put up a block, and then they might make a big offensive play too. That's
correct.
Exactly.
Okay, so the blockers along the net. Who is that?
That's that's your defensive line. That's the defensive line in football in the trenches, right?
That's right. It's in the trenches. Very good. Very good. Very good. Those are your defensive line. Very good. All right, now. This is going to screw you up, okay? So we are running a 3-4 defense with the linebackers, okay? I'm just giving you a hint.
Okay. All right.
So who is the libero?
The libero is the middle linebacker or the free safety? The free safety?
No, it's the Mike linebacker. That's why
that's
told
right.
you
There's
it's the
not a
Mike
3-4.
linebacker.
3-4.
They make
Middle
all the
linebackers.
calls and they make the plays. Whereas the DS is the what linebacker?
Hang on, I'm still going back to my middle. I said middle linebacker, and you told me we're doing a 3-4. So there's no middle linebacker.
No, there's two linebackers. There's a Ted and Mike, remember?
Mike, and exactly. No, I know.
So,
I know.
So the DS is the other linebacker, which is the Ted linebacker.
Will. Yeah, or the Will.
Yes, which blocks. Which blocks for the Mike linebacker to make the play.
I like that. I like that. That's
there
excellent.
You go. That's all right, well, that's my flip. That's my point.
I'm going to tell you what. You just got a point on this serve. I went back as serve receive to get my defense on the field first, and you just scored with an ace. That was awesome. That's the best one so far.
Well, hopefully people understand volleyball is a very intense sport, and we take it for granted. We think the ball is just luckily going to the hitter. That's not what's going on.
Do you remember Jeremy White used an analogy last week about the closest team sport he could use to compare to volleyball was football?
That's right.
That's great. I love that. That's the best one. Okay, time for me to serve receive over here, and I'm going to go with something that I've been talking about. We try to shine the spotlight on these players around the state, the teams, the coaches, but every once in a while you get a couple players that deserve that spotlight even more. And over the past, I guess it would be not even 2 weeks, maybe the past 10 days, two of our top players in the state have committed to some big-time universities, and I want to make sure that we give props to them. First up, Laurel Cassidy from Parkview Baptist has made a verbal commitment to play indoors. I say indoors, Coach Jodee, at LSU. So you look at the LSU roster right now, out of 20 players, there's like 8 from Texas. There's more players from Indiana that are on LSU's roster right now than there are from Louisiana. Right now, AC Freilich, last year's Gatorade Player of the Year from St. Thomas More, awesome player. She's on LSU's roster. And Mandy Martin, that played libero for Mount Carmel for 1 year, she's on that team too, but she's really a Florida person. She came over here for 1 year. So Laurel Cassidy will make it 2. She did such an unbelievable job this past year, quit club, and was one of those players that just concentrated on beach. Coach Jodee, she was getting offers all over the place to play beach. She loves beach volleyball. She's tremendous. Won a huge national tournament out in California. The only way she was going to play indoor is if LSU offered her, and guess what? Tanya Johnson and her coaching staff rolled out the red carpet. They want Laurel Cassidy to be a part of LSU, and Laurel Cassidy reciprocated just a few days ago. So first of all, congratulations to Laurel Cassidy, but she's not the only one. She's played beach with this next person for a long time, against and for, but look, congratulations to Virginia Voce, who also was highly coveted on the beach volleyball scene. She also gave up club this past year to concentrate on beach, and look at her now, committing to UAB during a wild time with a coach, Terry Del Conte. She just left to go to FIU. Her assistant, Delaney Clancy, she wanted Virginia to come to UAB, and Virginia loved that, and that's where she's headed. So my serve receive is props. Congratulations to two of our best players, both juniors, for committing to big-time D1 programs. Could not be happier for both of them. They're both great kids and excellent volleyball players.
Well deserved. That was a good one too.
Well, we appreciate it. And like I said, we want to give the spotlight to these kids, these players, and those two deserve it in a big time way. We told you we had some big time highlights. Guess what? Haynes and Parkview Baptist played against each other, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's start with the number 1 team in the state. Dominican continues to roll, Coach. They played Country Day. I think it was on Thursday. And we all know Cam Chatelier and this Dominican team is awesome. Cam might have played her best match of the season, is what Paul Boron, our play-by-play guy, said. Let's roll the highlights and see some of this action. And again, Cam was going at it, but so was Tamia Williams, right? Look at the little play here. There's a good up, but they're going to get it back, Country Day. And then here comes Tamia Williams with one of her 3 kills. man, Dominican's like a machine right now, Coach.
Yeah, and if you watch that play, the middles are very active. She went in for a slide and looped around and then comes back into the middle, which moves the blockers around.
And there's Zoe Smith had a big game too. And so they take set two, 25-14. They come into set two. How about Laura and Pipitone? Watch this bump set here to Cam, and then Cam does what she does.
Oh, a great shot on the corner. I mean, that's a shot that's very hard to dig. I mean, she's got that sharp angle. It's very hard for the off blocker to even get that. But Pipitone does a great job and gives her a nice high ball.
Watch this. Watch Pipitone here. Watch this. That's a libero kill.
That's kill. Yep, she's going to remember that more than any other dig that she had. She's going to say how great she played from that one kill. And she hit the correct corner. She hit right back. That's where you want to do. You want to send it to where the setter is because the setter's releasing early.
Another kill there from Cam. They won set two. Again, they're playing Country Day here, 25-12. Country Day's got some players, and they really showed up in set three. El Nunez is a junior outside. Watch her get into position here after the block. She wants that ball, Coach. Watch her. Goes right back after it, gets the kill.
Yep, and she hits down the line. Dominican was playing rotation defense, but the right back, the setter, reached back and did not trust the person who was down the line, and that's how they get the kill.
Leah Beverly with the kill. They led 13-7, but Cam comes up with the block here, and then she's going to close out the match with a couple of aces. She had 4 aces and 19 kills. Man, Cam Chatelier is shining very brightly right now.
Yeah, Cam is phenomenal. You know, she's a kid who's been around volleyball forever with her mom. You know, I mean, those are the gym rats that you love to coach because they understand the game more than anyone else. She plays out on the sand all the time, and she wants to be good. She's always playing volleyball.
Let's go ahead and check out our game, another game on Thursday. It was Mount Carmel and Mandeville, another matchup of Power 25s. And the hitters for Mount Carmel came to life here. Off the slide here.
Oh, that's a beautiful slide.
Emily Carasi had a huge game. Another look at it, and it was just boom time. All the hitters are starting to really gel right now for Mount Carmel, and that
was a great set though too on that, and that also running the middle, being able to run the slide. You got to have the passes to be able to do that. And Nola's doing a great job passing the ball so that your daughter can put it there where the hitters like it.
Yeah, and she got it there to Brooke Dara, who had 11 kills, 6 blocks, this time going back set. Giselle Estrada, Coach, she's the X factor because she showed us all what she's capable of in this match. She had 16 kills.
Wow, and she's hitting from the right side, which is phenomenal. It's hard to dig from the right side.
Hey, great job this year from Scott Dennis and Aubrey McNeese taking over for Rachel Schillenkamp while she's out in maternity leave. She's coming back soon, but Ella Marquez had some unbelievable digs. Hannah Hunter comes up with the big play here. Mason Vigil. They got some players. They're a good team, Coach.
Oh, yeah. They've always been a good team. You know, they're very well coached. And, right there, what a use off the block. Nice hustle by Mount Carmel. But the hitter hits nice high hands right there and deflects, and you can't do anything about that.
Look at those scores. Mount Carmel won the first set 25-7. Mandeville just won set 2. So here comes set 3. Richey, she did it a couple times against Hahnville, but look at this. A high pass to the net. She just attacked.
Coach Didier and I talked about this all day on Saturday. Your good setters change the direction of the ball. The ball was coming in at a certain direction, and the blockers are right there. But she just changes. Emma changes the direction and gets the kill.
Julia Savoy, also a huge game. Back to Giselle Estrada, 16 kills for her. Emma had 50 assists in 4 sets. I've never seen her do that. She had 13 digs.
Well, that means the hitters are hitting the ball. That's what that means. And look, it goes 4, huh?
It went 4, and that's what I'm saying. She had 50
close.
assists in 4 sets.
Wow.
And Mount Carmel put it away there. But look, 16 matches at the Homa Terrebonne Convention Center for Craig Hamner, who did a great job with this tournament, the Lady Lion Classic. Let's check out what might have been the headliner, because it was last year a tremendous battle as well. Haynes and Parkview Baptist, again, matchup, a couple of Power 25s. Virginia Voce, we just talked about her in the onset. Watch her hit here on the right side.
She just rips it down the line. Nobody's going to dig that shot. Corner shot. She reaches high, puts the ball away.
Huge game from not only Yana Times but Brooklyn Phillips here. But look at Yana Times, and again, I say by the time she's a senior, she may be the best player in the state of Louisiana.
She gets so high, she's able to run middle and pounds the ball. She's way over the block. You can't stop her.
There's Brooklyn Phillips over there making plays. She had double-digit kills. She was just awesome in this match. But then there's Yana again. You see how high she got up right there?
Oh yeah, she's way high. Nobody's blocking her.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then I think coming back the other way off the block is Virginia Voce with the point, but it was 25-12 in the first set. But the second set, once again, Yana, when they move her outside, she's even more dangerous, Coach.
Yeah, and serve receive, that's a great coaching job of letting her swing a big swing from the outside until she gets stuck in the middle. So that's smart play by the coach. That's designed for her to hit the first ball outside. And then once the ball's over, she moves to the middle of the block.
Marilyn Voce gets a block after a great dig. That was big. And one more time, here comes Yana. Go ahead and take us through this one.
Yeah, she goes right behind him. She runs a little pop, and she hits it right between the seam and right back and center back. And it's very hard to dig that ball.
It's a highly competitive set, too. And at the end, I want to talk about this libero who had – she was all over the place. It was a great dig, and then it was Serena Wu with the kill. I'll tell you about the libero in just a bit. So now we're going to 3 like we did last year. And again, Parkview Baptist lost to this team in the state tournament last year as well. Here comes Virginia to Laurel right there, and Cassidy dug it up. And then Brooklyn Phillips comes up with the kill. But Laurel and Virginia went mano-a-mano a couple times. Jency Doyce with a blistering shot down the line here. Just another weapon who just had another game close to double-digit kills.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job hitting line. It's very hard to dig line. In fact, I would tell my blockers to block line. Another great dig by the libero.
This is the one I'm talking about. She has 3 digs. Ella Feehan on this one play. Already, there's her second one. Wait till you see the third. Might be the most impressive one of this entire deal. Watch the big hit by Yana. Dug it right up.
That's a great dig.
That's 3 digs. All of them highlight reel. Yep. And Serena Wu puts it away for the point. And then we're going to go back to Marilyn Voce. Tell me a little bit about Virginia's younger sister.
Oh, Marilyn is a beast. She does a great job in the middle. Her and Virginia play sand together sometimes. I'm sure that it's not always the best thing because they're very competitive kids. Their mother played college volleyball, and Monique, is actually put that fire in both of those kids. They understand the game. Their volleyball IQ is very high, and they both feed off of each other.
Now we're in set,
on the middle.
Yeah, we're on set 3 here, 12-10 times with the kill, and this is where they just had separation. And Haynes just had a rough tournament, but this was, it's rough for anybody trying to block that shot. Phillips, couldn't say enough about Brooklyn Phillips, the job that she did in this match. She's going to get a point here to make it 13-10 to block. Watch the replay and her facial expression, Coach, that she blocked Virginia. Watch the replay. Brooklyn Phillips, her eyes about bug out. Watch this. Oh, I did that.
Awesome. Good job.
And here's match point. It's going to be back to Yana Times. So Parkview Baptist gets a little revenge a little bit there after losing this tournament.
And you got to love that match point was an earned point. We talked about earned and unearned. And last week you talked about, sportsmanship at the end of a match. That is a great match right there. There wasn't an error. There was an earned point. I was a block. All those things make a difference on a great match, and that was a good match.
It was. So we got to see a bunch of the teams last week. We had the voters go ahead and send in their votes last night. So we've got the Power 25, the fresh, hot off the presses, Coach. You're going to be the first one outside of Justin and I to see it. Coach Jodee, there it is, Dominican #1. After winning 7 matches 2 weeks ago against Power 25s, they follow up with 3 more Power 25 victories. They're 19-1 and #1 with #2 Hannon and St. Thomas More and Parkview Baptist. Nothing's changed there. Mount Carmel and E.D. White flip-flop after the loss that E.D. White suffered this past week. Slidell Country Day stay the same. Dutchtown is up after a couple wins this past week. And Turling's Catholic also jumps up from the 11th spot into 10. Give us your thoughts on 1 through 10.
Well, I've watched Hannon play this week, but St. Thomas More really impressed me just by their discipline and just by their consistency. I mean, they lose the first 2 sets in a bad environment, like a non-home court environment,
Yes.
to Sam Houston, and comes back and wins the next 3. That's what championship teams do. Not by 1 kid or 2 kids. They all put into that. You know, Coach Burke made a change on her lineup. She went to a 5-1 from a 6-2, which maybe she'll stay with now. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Mount Carmel play this week, and I haven't really watched any of these other ones, but I was happy to watch St. Thomas More, and I thought they definitely deserved the 3rd spot.
That's awesome. So we got 2 new teams in the 11 through 25 bracket that have cracked the poll. But up top, Sam Houston, as you said, Jay, they jump up 1. Ben Franklin has dropped into 12. North Lake Christian up 2. Again, a big week for them. Vanderbilt at 14, staying the same. John Curtis drops after they had their first loss of the season. They're at 15. Pope John Paul up 2, as is Newman, 16 and 17. LCA drops to 18. Haynes dropped after a tough loss, tough week. Fountain Blue is up 1 in the 20. 21, Notre Dame stays the same. And then 22 and 23, Catholic New Iberia, St. Michael just basically flip-flop. And there are 2 new teams, Hahnville, after a 6-1 week where they picked up 2 wins over Power 25s, beating both Haynes and LCA, come into the poll at 24, and Ruston coaches at 25. Give us your thoughts on 11 through 25.
Well, watching Sam Houston play, they're good. They're not as experienced and as battle tested as the rest of the New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette area, but they're right there. And going to the tournament this weekend, you definitely saw them lose some matches, some close ones, but they also beat some good teams. North Lake Christian they're very good. They lose to Slidell this week, but they beat John Curtis, who was undefeated at North Lake Christian. Newman, I'm excited to watch them play. I know they've been very streaky and getting better as they play. Haynes, I got to see them play a little bit. They're good. They just have a few mismatch problems, which they'll correct. Their coach will be good enough to correct that. And then it was nice to see Hahnville play. I got to see him on my court, getting to see Mariah Mott actually swing at the ball, seeing something when you're there is a lot different than seeing them on video. And, you can hear the pop in the ball. You can hear all that. So, I think they've done a great job with the Power 25. I think, you still have Mandeville, who I think is good. They just play a lot of hard teams, and so, they're matching up with teams. They're just not winning the matches.
And Ruston, with that big win over Natchitoches Central last Tuesday, crack into the top 25. They actually bump another North Louisiana team out of the 25, and Calvary Baptist is right there in the fringe on the outside. It's time now to bring in our first guest. For that, we head to the River Parishes and bring in Hahnville head coach Mendi LeBoeuf, who's also the Tigers athletic director. Coach Mendi, welcome to the program. Congratulations on a 6-1 week, 5-0 at the CCA tournament, and for being in the Power 25 coming in this week at number 24.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. This is a super exciting week for us last week.
Hey, let's start with the CCA tournament. Going 5-0, beating Haynes, beating LCA. Those are both big wins. Not to mention that you closed out the tournament undefeated. You started out the week playing Mount Carmel very well. You lost in 3, but scored, I think, 21, 18, and 18. You picked up another win during the week. That's a huge week for you. And tell us more in particular about the wins over Haynes and LCA.
Sure. Yeah, those were major wins for us. I think the biggest thing about the wins, those 2 wins, was we didn't start the match off particularly well. We didn't pass very well and kind of got down in set 1 on both of those. So the thing I liked most about those 2 wins is that after a rough start, we kind of pulled ourselves together after set 1. We kind of picked up a little momentum at the end of the Haynes game and went into set 2, feeling a little bit better. But I love the way we turned it around and we just kept fighting and problem solving it out, and then eventually came on top. So that was major.
Yeah, I really like to play a Mariah Mott. But you also beat Central Catholic. Let's talk about Central Catholic game. They're heavy in the middle. They were heavy in the middle. How did you defend that? Because you beat them pretty easily, correct?
We went 2, which was nice because we had been going 3, obviously both on Friday. But I just think our players are the fact that we passed a lot better so that we could actually run offense out of serve receive, which obviously makes a big difference. And I think trying to do a little bit more with the ball. I think both of our middles did a good job of turning the ball. We hit a lot of balls to right back that seemed to be problematic to try to get away from the block. And they also mixed it up a little bit. So that was helpful.
Coach, all around, and Coach Jodee already alluded to Mariah Mott, and I had a chance to see her firsthand, not only last year, but in the preseason at that same home at Terrebonne Civic Center. And I knew right away, not just Mariah Mott, because you have a lot of other pieces that go with it. Obviously, Zarang, Ebby Zarang is a left-handed setter, very, very tough setter. Kylie Spurgeon, just a little short package, but man, she packs a punch at libero. Also a freshman that I didn't know about, Macy Hollingsworth. She impressed me a lot, not only in the game against Mount Carmel, but then watching her on VSN against Belchase. Talk about your team, I guess, as a whole, and some of the other weapons that go along and complement Mariah Mott.
Sure. I mean, Mariah is something else. Like, she's just developing into such a nice, well-rounded player. She's powerful and explosive, and she does all of those things. But I think she's just so much more than that. She's passing really well out of serve receive, been pretty consistent on the serve. And she also, I think, assists a lot of our players just on playing more confident. That's the way she is. She's highly competitive. I think that kind of spills over to the rest of our team. She's also super humble. She takes credit for very little. She's super complimentary to the rest of our players. And so that means a lot. But the other players that play around her, I think they're doing a good job of problem solving things out and understanding. We don't always have to hit the ball hard. Location is sometimes where you need to be. We don't all have to hit it like Mariah, and we can be successful. But I'm just real pleased with the way we're playing team ball, and we're playing together. There's not a lot of selfishness as it relates to our connection. We just try to problem solve it out, and it's been good. It's been really fun. I'm obviously really excited about Macy, putting her on the varsity court in the games quicker than what she's used to playing, both obviously in middle school and even during the club season. I just see her grow and becoming more and more confident and consistent. So that's helped us out a lot with Mariah on the back row.
Yeah, well, I tell you, watching Mott hit the ball, I mean, she's phenomenal. But I was there for the Belchase game, and her
Right.
just being able to roll shot the ball over when everyone was back on their heels. She's starting to see the court very well, and she is very humble. She's a great teammate. I totally agree with you. So my question to you is, Coach, what is the best thing that has happened to your volleyball program in the last 3 decades? Because you've been there for 30 years. What have you brought to this program that, first of all, why are you still there 30 years? I mean, that's incredible to be at one school that long. And what do you think that, the volleyball program has benefited from this?
I think one of the main benefits maybe is that when I got here 30 years ago, we were, and we still are, a very successful softball school, but there hadn't been a lot of volleyball played in this area. It was predominantly basketball and softball. And while they had a volleyball team and they did well, I don't think there was somebody here that was just totally fired up about volleyball. When I left Nichols and I had the opportunity to come here, it was very obvious to me when I was student teaching here that this is a great community as it relates to support, and they value education, but they also value athletics. So I think early on it was just the fact that somebody was really excited about volleyball. And what I've seen grow in the time that I be here is just more and more of our community playing volleyball and really enjoying it, where we have more kids than ever playing club ball. Probably about, I don't know, in the last 5 to 10 years, we have a recreation volleyball league now, and that's growing exponentially. So when we have camps in the summer for our community, like we have an abundance of kids here. And when I go into Walmart now, I get to talk about volleyball with, 5 and 6 year olds and their family. But I think we're just really excited about the sport here, and that St. Charles Parish has really made a commitment to not only the other sports, but really volleyball as well.
Yeah, and St. Charles Parish, as you said, and community is such a big part of what you do for you. I know talking to you before the Mount Carmel game just to prepare and get my notes, and I asked a similar question that Coach Jodee just asked, what do you take pride in the most? And you said that, being a community person, being seeing those players come back in your program years later and have established themselves in the community as well. I know the community part is a big thing, but I also want to kind of pivot the question into administration as well, and what it's like to not only be a very successful volleyball coach, but also the athletic director of a program that has a rabid fan base, a football team that's one of the best in the river parishes, and basketball. And as you said, softball is such a big sport, baseball. What's it like being an AD and a head coach at the same time?
I mean, first of all, it's the AD job can get to be a lot, but I think Jodee kind of asked me also what has been given to me. And I think just being in a place where people, again, value academics, but they really value athletics too. And the community and our administration and the school, they just support our athletic program. So being an athletic director in a school like that, although it tends to be hectic at times, it's just really nice to know that we're going to evaluate where we are in our athletic department, and we're going to always look at it in the lens of like what's right for our kids to allow them to be more successful. And if it's about growing kids through athletics, I want to be a part of that. So football and volleyball at the same time is a bit much. We played 2 Friday night at CCA. I got off the bus and drove to East St. John for the football game to make sure that I'm supporting that program. But I just think if we're doing it for the right reasons and our kids are benefiting, that it's worth the extra work.
Coach, have you gotten to coach any of your players' kids?
I have coached. Thanks, Jodee.
I have too. That's why I asked.
Okay, I appreciate that. I have, and actually, it's pretty cool. Liz Hollingsworth, who is one of my assistants, played for me when I was in my 20s and a little bit more wild. But it's so, and I'm very much more mature now. But it's really nice to have her, and I've had players come back and coach, and then now Macy, our freshman outside, is actually her daughter. I've had I have 2 or 3 on my team right now that their parents played, and now they're playing. So it's pretty interesting.
It's a great thing though. It's awesome. It's incredible.
It cracks me up though, because the older the parents now, when they get in our program, are basically like, who are you? Like, why? And I was like, well, I'm not in my 20s wild anymore. Now I'm in my 50s. So I'm a little more mature in my approach. Same expectations, different delivery. I don't throw things anymore. So it's good. At least they can see my growth. That's awesome.
There you go.
I like it. Hey, Coach, you, during that Hahnville match with Mount Carmel, we had Sean Hayden, the assistant principal at Hahnville, on talking about some of the great things at the school at Hahnville. But man, the facilities are awesome. I mean, they always have been. The football field, baseball, softball field are just wonderful. And the gym that you play your home matches in, such a great vibe in there. That was the first time that we had been there for a volleyball match. And I was super excited that we were there. And I was looking up on the walls and I saw a lot of district titles like last year. You're a defending district champion, but also the state tournaments. And I think the last one that you were in the state tournament was maybe 2006. And I know you want to put another year up there. And I think this year, next year, Mariah's a junior. We talked about Hollingsworth, and man, Zarang, I know is a junior. Spurgeon is a junior. So the next 2 years, I feel you're set up to make a run in Division I. Are you with me there, or what do you think it'll take?
I'm absolutely with you, and it's things we talk about. We try not to talk about it too heavy because we'd rather focus on the process, the how, more than just getting there. But these guys are working really hard. I definitely see us growing in consistency. And I think we're also trying to variety the tempo of our game a little bit more. So I believe in these kids. They believe in each other. And we're ready to give it a shot.
Well, Coach, we certainly appreciate your time. We wish you the best. It has been so much fun connecting with Hahnville Volleyball, not only last week in your home match with Mount Carmel, but at the CCA tournament, the Lady Lion Classic in Houma. Man, I'm so happy for you and your team and really continued success.
Yeah, congrats, Coach.
Coach, it's time for us to take a break. Always good to talk to Coach Mendi LeBoeuf. When we return, we're going to look at the VSN volleyball schedule this week for the upcoming games, and we're going to talk to Colleen Loerzel because her team's involved in a big one.
Since 2000, Bayou Granite has grown to be Southeast Louisiana's largest fabricator of stone countertops. From precise laser measurements to state-of-the-art water jet and CNC machines, we can handle your kitchen and bath needs as well as any commercial projects. Let our expert staff design and customize the right material for your home or business. Stop by our new state-of-the-art fabrication facility and showroom today at 9622 East Main Street or call us at 985-637-4911. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
At Harvey Gulf International Marine, we believe in being the best, in challenging the mundane, and in continually evolving as masters of our craft. We are reliable, forward-thinking, customer-focused, and committed to protecting the environment and the health and safety of the lives that we impact. At Harvey Gulf, we're committed to our people, our environment, and our performance. We're committed to unsurpassed excellence.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! Welcome back to VSN Volleyball Weekly. Eric Richey alongside Jodee Pulizzano, bringing you the highlights in the last segment, the Power 25. But now, Coach, it's time to look forward. What's coming up this week on the VSN Volleyball schedule? Well, check it out. It all starts Tuesday. De La Salle at Sacred Heart will have both the varsity and JV. Another big one for Dominican. St. Joe's, always tough. 5:30 contest there. Then look at this. John Curtis and Newman. It's our VSN volleyball spotlight of the match. Tell me about this matchup and what you're looking forward to there.
Well, it should be a lot of high-flying offenses, and whatever team can slow the other team down is going to win the game. And I mean slow it down from deflections off the blocks, from defense. Both teams are very strong in the front row, and they have a lot of different weapons to use.
Then on Wednesday, it will be LCA and Parkview Baptist. Man, it's another clash of Power 25s right there, Coach. You'll also be in Baton Rouge for this one.
Correct. I mean, Parkview Baptist, I think they should handle business if they can pass the ball. Watching them play against Haynes, their ball control has gotten a lot better. LCA is big, so they should be able to control, but I don't think you can shut down times.
No, I mean, it's going to be a great match, and I'm looking forward to it. Then on Thursday, it'll be Bonneville at Mount Carmel. Senior night will be VSN will be in the house for that one, bringing you that. And there you go. There's our schedule for the week. And now it's time for another one of our guests. And it's a coach of a game for our spotlight matchup this week. Let's head uptown and bring in Colleen Loerzel, the head coach of the Newman Greenies. Coach Colleen, welcome to the program. So glad to have you. What a big match you have on Tuesday against your district rival, John Curtis.
Yeah, we're excited. It's we've got a really good, strong district and have for a long time. And so it makes it just really fun. Great matchups, tough matches, and a great way to head into October.
Yeah, I mean, you have some great wins. You beat SSA, you beat Fontainebleau, you beat St. Michael's, who's up and coming. You beat Vanderbilt. Last week, you had a kind of letdown against Ben Franklin. But what are you going to do against Curtis to slow down their offense?
We just all the same things we've been doing. We've been working on our defense and our block, and then putting ourselves in good position to attack. So we're just going to continue to focus on us and not really worry about who's on the other side so much.
Coach Colleen, we had you on the show last year, and of course, me being a big Purdue fan, we were obviously talking a lot about the Boilermakers. We've yet to do that lunch with your husband, Jason, to talk about the Boilermakers and Drew Brees and Joe Tiller. But I heard a little bit about your background as well last year, that you played at Sacred Heart. Well, you also played against Coach Jodee, and then you played for her in an all-star game.
That's right.
Coach Jodee, you were telling me some stuff. What did you guys used to do to motivate?
Well, so, Colleen was a Cageland kid with some of my players were also Cageland kids. And, we always want to win. Same with Sacred Heart. It's an incredible rivalry game. So my kids had a great idea. Colleen used to wear these big bows, like not the little ones that people wear. I mean, the bow took up twice her head. Okay. So it was about out here. So my kids and me, we like to have fun. So we're like, you know what? And if anybody knows me, I'm not about hair. I'm not about bows at all. So my kids come up to me like, Coach, can we wear the ugliest bows we can find when we play Sacred Heart? I'm like, what? I said, I don't want you wearing bows. It's like, Coach, Colleen wears these bows, and I think if we can get in her head, I think it'll make a difference. So they went out and bought the ugliest material and made these big old bows, okay, these humongous bows, and we wore them. And guess what happened? Colleen was so motivated that I don't even think we scored 20 points. And no, it was side out. So I don't even know if we scored 8 or 9 points in one of the games. I mean, Colleen was killing it. But Colleen, tell them about the bow.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Well, my goal was to be 6 feet tall. I wanted to be 6 foot. And so I would find, and my other club teammates, we'd find the biggest, thickest bows we could wear and put them on in the hopes that someone would think we were 6 feet. So it was fun. And it was hysterical. I'll never forget seeing Jodee and the Ben Franklin team walking through the gym doors with their bows on. And I think that I had on the actual same bow as the ugliest bow that you guys could find. So
yes, we did. Yeah, you did. You said you actually had one like that.
Yeah,
Coach,
exactly.
Coach Colleen, what was it like playing for Coach Jodee in that All-Star game? Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Well, by far, that was the toughest defense I had ever had to play in my life. And I think I was sore for about a week afterwards. But that was my first taste of really actually having to play tough defense. And it was great because it prepped me to go in to college, even though it was a short little window. I've seen Jodee now as a player, as a coach, and as a colleague, as a professional. And I just, I really am fortunate to count her as a close friend.
Oh, that's so nice, Colleen. I have a question for you, though. So, what you do really well at Newman that people don't realize is you really embrace the mental aspect of the game. Like your teams are close. You do the spaghetti dinners. You do the you do all kind of different things that people don't even realize. Like everybody thinks it's just in the gym doing volleyball, but you do these phenomenal things that make your kids mentally tough. And it always happens in the beginning of the year. Y'all start off slow, and at the end, y'all are just lights out. Can you give us, I don't want you to give me all your secrets, but tell me what you do, some of the things that you do that make your kids mentally tough at the end of the season.
Well, I'll be honest. I am fortunate to have some really great kids and some great parents, and they come in and they're hungry and they're ready to be fully committed and to just grow, and they kind of trust the process. And so we do think that the mental side of the game is a really important side. And so we try and take care of that, just coming up with mantras and, those things that you say to yourself in tough moments. And do just kind of the bonding and the learning to work together as a team so that we're accomplishing our goals. We're real goal oriented, and just, try and have them put themselves in position where they can play freely, so that the little things don't get in their way, basically. That's what I love.
I love it. And you also use those mantras and those great mental tough ideas to win a state championship just a year ago, defending a Division IV state championship this year. Tell us a little bit about some of the players on your team. We're going to roll some video of your win against a very tough Vanderbilt team. And obviously, we talk a lot about, the sophomore Caroline Boehm in the middle. What I noticed is Caroline Rushing is having a good year for you. I believe she's a senior. And bring us up to date on Jessie Lambert, another sophomore who has a freshman last year, so dynamic, and tore her ACL. And I know it's kind of been slow bringing her back. Where's she at right now? And just kind of brag on your players for a while we show some video.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think going through all of our kids, we look, if I look at them by positions, I am really excited about each of the position groups. I think we have tremendous potential. I think as we're, when I look back on teams that are super successful, you've got like 3 categories of kids on all of those teams: the studs, the kids who are going to be there, and can really compete at a high level. Then you've got the competitors, the kids who are fiery and who really, are going to do what it takes, and they're competing even when other people don't realize they're competing. And then our third category is our glue, our calmers, our people who are going to take the situation and de-escalate when we need it. And so I'm super excited about this group of kids because we're young and we're rebuilding, but we have all 3 of those areas of competitors on the floor. And so I think that means that our potential is unlimited. I would say right now our offense is super strong. We've got both Tatum Young and Caroline Boehm, who are so physical. They're tall, but they're also high jumping and explosive with real fast arm swings and can be really dangerous.
There's Tatum Young right there in the
Tatum
highlights
Young
with
just put one
big
away.
play in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have, they've been really offensive minded, and they've worked this fall to become more defensive minded, and those things are starting to click. So that's exciting to see. And then our competitors, you mentioned Jessie Lambert. I mean, she just is a tremendous competitor. Second is like not even in her vernacular. Like she doesn't even know what that means. She hates it. And so she's had to battle to get back into the rotation and just to get healthy. We wanted to make sure she was healthy and strong before we put her out there. We wanted, to make sure that she was ready. And she is ready. She's been chomping at the bit. So she's now in the mix, and I think really excited about it. She's doing great things for us. I think Ella Falavino's in that category too.
We just saw her get a kill too, right there too, and Ella.
Yeah, she's been super strong, just a total ball hog in a great way, where she wants the ball and she's gonna pass it and dig and just get things going, and then she'll come in and take some nice swings with that lefty hand, which is super exciting.
Oh, Joey, great
right?
plays off of transition right now. You're running middles off of transition. That's unbelievable. I mean, that wins championships right there.
Exactly. And that's what, both Ella and then our liberos, our libero and defensive specialists, Kingsley LeBoeuf and Sarah Gibbs, they just are like these little spark plugs who are, hardworking and spunky and just all over the place. And so that's been super fun to see them develop this fall, which was so exciting.
I guess one more question, and again, I bring up a state championship. How do you approach that down the stretch here as you get ready for, really now we're in the month of October, district play, a huge game Tuesday with John Curtis, and then as you hit the playoffs and try to defend the state championship? That's what my long-winded question is. Do you talk about being a state champion? What is the key, or do you just play each game and get them motivated for each game?
Yeah, we focus on just being us right now. So I think, people are always asking about that state championship piece, and it is what it is. It provides us experience in that moment, which is really great that we can build on. But also, that was last year and this is this year, and we're a different team this year. We've got different strengths and different weaknesses. And so we're working to take care of those things and kind of be our new person. So yes, of course we want to defend and the state title, and we'd love to be back in that moment. And we do think we have pieces to be there, but we're just focused on walking off the court in our last match, feeling like we played the best volleyball that we can, that we stuck together as a team, and that we left it all out on the court.
That's awesome, Coach.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. One more time, I know Coach Jodee asked you some particulars about your preparation with John Curtis. Tell us about just overall the mode, getting ready to play a big district team, a team that I think you were undefeated and they gave you a loss last year. Playing at Newman this year. What's that environment going to be like Tuesday? And I know Coach Jodee will be there doing the call for VSN.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys. I think, I know I know it's kind of boring, but I would say that it's just another game for us. We got to get to 25 before the other team does. And we're going to just kind of plug away and play to our strengths. I know that's not a fun answer, but it'll be
just another
like
game. Just another game, Coach.
That is such a coaching answer, Colleen. Come on. Are you not going to have the football team there?
I don't even know. We're not there yet. I don't know.
Okay,
I'll send a note and say, hey, send your boys over, but I don't know if it doesn't always work. Sometimes it does.
Okay.
Well, listen, we wish you the best of luck. It's always a pleasure to have you on. I'm going to hold you to it. We got to meet up sometime, talk about
Definitely.
Boilermaker, the Boiler Up era with Joe Tiller, your husband as a linebacker. And real quick, on the way out, your sons doing a great job. Both of them are in the end zone. We got to say which Loerzel's scoring these days with Newman football.
I love it. So fun. It's been a really fun fall. That's, my favorite time of year. We got volleyball, we got football, we've got everybody playing all over. So it's been a blast.
It's awesome. We're glad that we can share it on VSN as Newman being one of our VSN affiliates. It's a lot of fun. Keep it up. Good luck to you. And I'm sure Coach Jodee and Jodee will see you Tuesday, and I'll see you.
I can't wait to see you Tuesday, Colleen.
I'll see you real soon too. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much. And listen, thanks, Eric. Thanks for all you've done for high school sports and for, girls sports and for volleyball. I think your product has been amazing. We've been with you for the last 3 years, and the exposure that you've given to our kids is really awesome. So thanks for what you're doing. And Jodee, thanks for being a part of it this year. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All
I
right.
appreciate that. Kind words. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, you got it. Time for us to take our final break here on VSN Volleyball Weekly. When we return, you never want to miss Coach Jodee's One Last Take. That's coming up, and maybe something else, maybe a little bit of a news segment. Find out what that is when we return. Varsity Sports Now would like to thank the Friends of VSN Volleyball, Bella Zoya Properties, and the Bernatus family, wishing former Cub Sarah Bernatus the best of luck at TCU this year. White Sands Beach Volleyball Complex and Seegers Sandbar, Crew Volleyball Club, Louisiana South Volleyball Club, the grandparents of Mount Carmel setter Emma Richey, Jim and Terry Lynn, wishing number 4 the best of luck this season.
Before planning the big trip, you were limping thanks to a bad knee. Then you heard about Mako robotic-assisted knee replacement. It starts with a CT scan to pinpoint the problem that becomes a personalized 3D plan to guide your doctor during surgery. Mako can help lead to better outcomes, like less pain and shorter recovery times. The lifetime of a knee implant is limited, and revision surgery may be required. Individual results and recovery times vary. Risks of surgery include pain, infection, heart attack, stroke, death, and other serious risks. Ask your doctor for important safety information. To find a doctor who uses Mako, visit makocan.com.
Elevate your program's fundraising this season with Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform for organizations of all sizes using innovative technology to create the easiest and most efficient system available. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with you every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser for your program. To find out more, visit verticalraise.com.
Welcome back. It's our final segment. Eric and Jodee here with you. And look, we always do one last take, but we've got a lot more to get to this week than just one last take. Coach, you've been highlighting some of the top statistical players in the state over the last couple weeks. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and check out some of the leaders again. I'll give you the mic and you just take it away.
All right, so right now in kills, leading the state is Sophia Bonifay from Hannon with 304. Reagan Robinson is still up there from Slidell, the big hitter, at 300. And Cam Chatelier, of course, from Dominican at 262. In assists, it's Emma Richey from Mount Carmel with 676. Ava Labat from Slidell with 670. Reese Mulbear from Catholic High, New Iberia with 651. And to end that list, Sarah Kirsch from Hannon has 645. They're real close. And then, of course, Diggs, my favorite. Ella Bankston from Loranger has 366. Lauren Pipitone from Dominican at 344. Kenley Nonato, the girl from Turlings that we talked so well about, their little stud, 342. And then, of course, Nola Savine from Mount Carmel at 336. Shout out to Gabby Marcella. Last week was the Max Prep Player, ABCA Player of the Week. She had 191 assists, 49 digs, and 2 aces. And then we had the Go Preps Player of the Week, which was Brighton Ratcliffe from the outside hitter from Edie White, who had 88 kills, 4 aces, 10 blocks. And the honorable mentions that week were from Virginia Voce, which we just talked about from Haynes, and Madeline Walter from Ascension Christian.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Great look at this, the stat leaders around the state. Gabby, I think, is right behind Sarah, too, in that assist battle as far as for the season. Well-deserved player of the week, helping that team to a 7-0 record that week as well. Hey, let's talk about a new thing that you brought up to me, and I like it. We might get a cool graphic for it as we move forward, but I see you, right? I see you.
Correct.
So who's
got to see you?
I get to see you. So define what ICU is in your segment and who's going to be your first ICU.
Well, the greatest thing about me going around and watching volleyball is I'm not coaching it. So now I get to actually enjoy these kids that are just phenomenal. So there is a bunch of players through the last week through the tournament that I got to see. So I'm going to start off with Addison Sykes, the outside hitter from Central Catholic, sophomore, phenomenal. Avery Lewis from Hannon. We talk about Bonifay, we talk about everyone else, but Avery Lewis, she makes the points. Nadia Donham from the outside hitter from Lafayette Christian Academy. I got to see Chalmette, Jody McMichael, the middle, and Liv Peters, the setter. Unbelievable where she's able to go up and change the directions on the balls all the time as a setter. Tylen Bell, the senior from Bell Chase, the outside hitter. Ebby Zarang from Hahnville and Mariah Mott from Hahnville, both of them incredible players. The 2 middles from Central who are going to make life miserable for a lot of people, Jordan Geeson and Addison Grisafi. I called her Grizz the whole time. Cabrini's 2 players, Kai Hales, the outside hitter, the senior, and their libero, Alex Rutledge. Incredible job they do. Sam Houston, Aubrey Porsche, the sophomore outside hitter, and plays defense out of this world, along with Ava Henry, their big middle. Claire Reed and Isabel Bilodeau from St. Thomas More. Claire Reed, first 2 games didn't have much of an impact, but the next 3, she had like 14 kills in 3 games. And then, of course, I want to shout out to a team. Destrehan High School right now is on a 12-win streak. I see you.
I like it. You see a lot of players right there, Coach, and I love the fact that you're able to go out and highlight these players. So you sprung this on me at the last second. I saw some great players, too. I'm going to give you just 2. I see you 2 players. I'm going to start with Neil Graceberry. I know she's just on the outside, kind of on those kills leaders, but she has how many kills in the season? 224 kills. She's a 6 rotation lefty outside, 170 digs, 17 aces, and 26 blocks. So I see you, Neil Graceberry, and I also see Cecilia Vetters, the outside for Patrick Taylor. One of the first matches that we did at the Lady Lion Classic this past weekend in Homa. Cecilia Vetters is a player and was very, very impressed with what I saw there. So there you have it. Some stats, some ICU, and we are down to one last take. And Coach, what is your one last take?
So I think the greatest accolade as a coach can get is when your players follow in your footsteps. So this weekend I was able to see Sunny Ray Blanchard, all right, who is was a player for Sandy Fussell at Assumption High School. And the greatest thing is not only do they follow your footsteps, but they learn so much from you. So Assumption was always great with Sandy. She has many state championships, over 1,200 wins in her career. But what she did is she always had her big kids in the middle, and she always had these little short Bayou girls that played defense in the back row. Sunny Ray is doing the same thing. You have Jordan Geeson in the middle, along with Addison Grisafi. But then you have her little libero, Ava Claire Calas, in the back row, digging all the balls. Sunny Ray is not as calm as Sandy. She doesn't sit down like Sandy, but she's right there. That's my one last take.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. My one last take has to go back to Houma, Louisiana, and the job that Craig Hamner and his staff, Ashley Kesterson, Carrie Townley, Kayla Hebert, his whole staff actually not only helped with the coaching, they helped with the production. They got the mics on after you left, and I was doing my thing, walking around and trying to see some volleyball and shaking hands and seeing a bunch of my players as well, my friends. But their coaching staff, one of our camera operators had some car issues early on, and we didn't have a camera person for the first match on Saturday. So Carrie Townley, she got up there and ran camera. Ashley Kesterson put on the headsets with Kayla Hebert, and they did a great job announcing with Coach Chip Didier. But I just wanted to say thanks to, Coach Craig. It started with him. That's his baby. Well done. You brought in teams from all over the state that we got to shine the spotlight on. We featured, I think it was 29 high schools on Court 3 over a 2-day period. It was awesome to see those teams, but it wouldn't have been possible had it not been for the hard work of Craig Hamner and his staff to put on that tournament, bring teams in from North Louisiana, as far west as Lake Charles, the Bayou, New Orleans, North Shore, all represented. My last take, good job, Craig Hamner and the CCA coaching staff. Coach, that was a great show, man. We covered all the bases, I think.
Hopefully we did. Hopefully, we do a good job for everyone.
We're certainly trying. We'll try to get to a college segment again next week, but we certainly had a jam-packed high school show for you this week. I want to thank Justin Thomas, our streaming coordinator and our director of this broadcast, and certainly both of our guests, Mendi LeBoeuf and Colleen Loerzel. And thanks to you, Coach Jodee. You are just rocking as an announcer, as an analyst. You're all over the place. You even did play-by-play this week.
Yeah, that was rough.
No, it wasn't. You did good. It might have felt rough, but it sounded good. Great job, and thanks again for being on the show. You got it. All right, let's say goodbye. Thanks again, VSN Volleyball Weekly. You remember, lots of good volleyball matches this week to check out on VSN. Hopefully you'll do so starting tomorrow with 3 matchups. Good night, everyone.